Hi everyone, today I'm doing my presentation on the consumption of whey protein and plant-based protein. Firstly, what is whey protein and plant-based protein? Whey protein is derived from the liquid that is left over when milk is turned into cheese. What is plant-based protein? It's simply the protein found in plants, this being commonly in peas, rice, hemp and sunflower. Why am I discussing the supplementation of protein? Because protein is essential in the human diet, and that means we must consume it. This is because it is the building blocks of blood, bones, cartilage and skin. It is recommended for high performance athletes to take supplemented protein because we use more energy in a day and therefore require more caloric intake. Whey protein is derived from cow's milk, therefore containing lactose, being the sugar. Lactose is important in the milk because lactose causes bloating and flatulence, being the problem with digestion. The problem with digestion is when flatulence and bloating occurs is you do not utilise the whey protein as well as what someone who that doesn't experience flatulence and bloating. According to the US National State of Institute of Health, roughly 65% of the human population has a problem with the digestion of lactose. Therefore, roughly 2/3 of the world's population will have a problem with the digestion of whey protein. Therefore, we come about plant-based protein. Plant-based proteins are relatively easy digested as they have digestive enzymes and fibre. This meaning that they are gut-friendly proteins. This is because they have fibre and digestive enzymes which help with digestion. Most plant-based proteins are hypoallergenic, meaning that they do not cause the body to affect in a negative way. Plant-based proteins generally have no drawbacks as they don't have the allergens present in egg and milk proteins. Whey protein is an attractive supplement to the consumer because it is cheap, it's everywhere, and it's in everyone's face. It's quickly digested and therefore can act on muscle recovery right away. It contains all 9 essential amino acids which are important for muscle recovery and growth. It's abundant in the 3 important branch chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine and valine, which are important for increasing muscle growth and protein synthesis. Plant-based proteins generally only attract a certain type of consumers because it is generally more expensive. This is because it has been less researched and it is however, it is easily digested and healthier than whey protein because there is less additives and artificial sweeteners. Hemp and pea proteins in particular have high amounts of 9 essential amino acids. Therefore, if you're eating a large variety of different plant proteins and have a good diet, you will be able to consume the 9 essential amino acids. Both whey protein and plant-based protein are nutrient dense. Whey protein is nutrient dense because it has high amounts of protein relative to caloric intake. This is because there is essentially little amounts of fat and carbohydrates present with large amounts of protein. Plant-based proteins are also nutrient dense because they contain large amounts of extra nutrients which are formed from the soil because the plant takes up these nutrients and therefore it goes into the supplement. These nutrients being things like B vitamins, calcium, iron, iodine, omega-3 fatty acids, selenium and zinc. Plant-based protein have a higher caloric intake, have a high nutrient level at a low caloric intake. This meaning they are nutrient rich. Why would someone want to consume plant-based protein? Because potentially they are vegetarian or vegan. This means they're not willing to consume whey protein because it's produced by an animal. Because they encounter bloating or flatulence, which means they choose plant-based protein because it's easy digested than whey protein. It's healthier because it contains little or no additives, which are used for shelf life and taste. The taste is pretty neutral, which means it's not really off-putting to someone who has a problem with strong flavours. So what is your choice then? Whey protein or plant-based protein? Well, plant-based protein, you don't have to be a vegan to consume. However, at the current time, whey protein is a standout because it is essentially been around for much longer and the go-to protein is a source of supplementation. This is because it's cheap, easily accessible, and at everyone's face. I believe plant-based protein will soon to increase consumption because people will soon to have a better understanding around the world, and the demand will go up because of this, meaning that more people will see others using it and it will give other people an enlightenment to go, yeah, I'm going to use it. This is because people who take plant-based protein are able to get a good enough source of protein supplementation with using the right supplements. These are just the references that I used to source my data from. Thanks everyone for listening to my presentation on the consumption of whey protein and plant-based protein. Now I hope you have a better understanding of what are the differences, and you better make your mind up if you ever need a protein supplement, which one you choose. Thanks.